Welcome back, Color Table Heroes, to another Galaxy of Heroes video. It's Monday morning with your bald-headed boy, Scribble. You know what that means? I know what that means. It means we're about to get galactically challenged out of our minds. Let's do this. Today's Galactic Challenge sees us on the planet of Malachor, homeland of the evil Sith, facing off against Darth Revan, HK-47, Darth Talon, Sith Marauder, and Darkside Bastila Fallen. The global modifier is Drain Essence, and I don't use it at all. It basically lets you absorb the abilities and the stats of your allies, gain a bonus turn, and then you gain some additional offense. It's okay. We don't use it. Imperial armor basically is for our Imperial troopers. They gain some benefits. It's largely focused towards the Imperial Remnant faction, and we don't use it. The enemy has got Grim Machinations, which is incredibly annoying. Essentially, they're going to gain stacking health and offense whenever we kill one of their units, and they also gain 50% turn meter, and they recover 50% health when we kill one of their units. If they kill one of us, they gain a stack of this thing called Dark Ascension, which basically increases their damage and decreases the damage they take. Every single time, it's horrendous. They do stupid amounts of damage. Feats, then. We need to win with Imperial troopers. We also need to win without using a leader. And we need to win without losing a single unit. It's not too terrible. It's not too terrible, all right? So I've got some footage here for us. Let's go and check this out. We're going to be using Veer's lead with Piet, Dark Trooper, Death Trooper, and range. It's important to have your Dark Trooper nice and fast, minus 302 speed with 11,600 offense at Relic 8. He wants to be chunky and quick, all right? So first move, we're going to highlight HK-47, place Emperor's Trap over on Dark Trooper. Dark Trooper is then going to open up a whole world of hurt on the enemy team. Let's punch HK-47 directly in the chops and then mass assist with Veers. That should kill HK-47, giving us a bunch of bonus turn meter. Death Trooper comes in handy here. We place the death mark on Darth Revan, just like that, and then stamp. You can only use this stamp if HK is dead. Next up is just kill Darth Revan. Bye, Darth Revan. I love Punchbot. I absolutely adore Punchbot. He's just the best of bots, isn't he? After we've gotten rid of HK and we've gotten rid of Darth Revan, it's really not so bad. We can pretty much clean up here. You might get a couple of lucky assists thanks to Range Trooper being in the team, but when we start killing people, everybody has a really good time. Now, I tried to use the AoE here to kill Basti to get some fear. Not enough damage, unfortunately, but, you know, Death Trooper will still do his business as well. What we're waiting for here is another turn with Death Trooper where he has Death Mark available, because that's the only real way that you're going to be able to kill that Marauder. Focus on Talon in the meantime until you get that Death Mark ability back, that Terminate ability, second special from Death Trooper, which is then what we're going to use on Marauder to actually get rid of him. He's unfortunately going to be gaining bonus TM whenever we're attacking out of turn, so he will interrupt us. But Death Mark thankfully lasts for one extra turn. We can then just absolutely annihilate Marauder. We nearly lost our Veers there. Good business. All right, let's look to win with no leaders. The team that I'm going with is a Malak lead. We're using Treya, we're using Sith Empire Trooper, Revan, and Nihilus. You want that Sith Empire Trooper to be there as a pre-taunt, absorb that AoE, then get our mass fear, drain everybody, and then make sure you isolate Darth Revan, decreasing the cooldowns on Darth Revan. That's going to let us sort of hit that annihilate faster, okay? Now, what I want to do here is not actually kill too many people, if I can help it. I don't really want to be increasing the enemy's offense and stuff like that too much, and leave those fears landed on the enemy team. Don't let them take too many turns, okay? If the enemy is feared, try not to hit them. Let them waste their turns because these guys just deal so much damage. I'm essentially trying to get to Nihilus's Annihilate before we start really ripping house here. So, keep the damage spread across the board. If you can land things like heal immunity and stuff like that, all the better. I'm still not going to trigger those fears. I'm going to leave them standing as long as possible. Alright then. Thankfully, having Malak in the leadership is also really useful because he takes reduced damage from percentile health effects. There's the Annihilate on Darth Revan. Easy money. Next up, we just want to kill whatever units we can. Now, it's unlikely that we actually win this without losing any units. It's just, you know, they've got so much damage output. But you should still be able to get the victory. Increasing cooldowns again, seeing if we can get round to another Annihilate with our good boy Nihilus. Darth Revan being super useful at controlling the field there, making sure that the enemy doesn't take too many turns thanks to all the fear. Now I'm going to leave the fear on Talon just so that she can't take any more turns. keep the enemy controlled as much as possible. We can probably isolate Marauder here. That'll be quite useful. Oh, we didn't isolate because Basti had corrupted battle meditation on us. Stopped us from landing that debuff. That's rather frustrating. No point using the life drain here from Nihilus because he's one turn away from an annihilate anyway. And Basti over there is looking kind of brutal now. So, once again, I don't want to trigger that death mark. Oh, actually, well, I guess we do. I guess we do want to trigger the fear. Just working on Sith Marauder here, hoping that we get round to another annihilate. Boom, by Marauder. Basti's gotten a kill there, basic doing 100,000 points of damage. Yes, they do hurt. Nihilus now is life draining simply because we want to try and get round to another annihilate as soon as possible. Life drain coming out of Malak as well, working on Basti. There's just 2 of them left. I choose to focus on Basti because I feel like she's more of a threat than Talon is, simply because she's got 1 stack of that Dark Ascension already. Let's keep working here. 3 turns before we get to our last annihilate. We should be able to kill Basti before we even trigger that. Let's go ahead and isolate on Talon now, decreasing cooldowns on Nihilus all the time so we can get round to those annihilates that little bit quicker. No point in draining there. We might as well just hold off 1 moment. Boom, Basti's gone. We know that next turn we get with Nihilus is going to be an annihilate. And there you have it. Wins with no leaders and no GLs using a Sith team. Let's go ahead and throw in some GL team now. I decide to go in with a Wat Tambor lead this time because he's a great leader for our Sith/Empire allies. Going in with Lord Vader, Maul, Gideon, and Thrawn. Thrawn is super useful in this setup because we can actually just fracture Darth Revan and that makes our lives a bit easier. And plus, Wat Tambor gets to trigger the Frenzy from Maul. So we use the AoE out of Maul, AoE out of Vader, then I'm going to increase the cooldowns on Darth Revan, use another Seething Rage, and then just AoE again to build us back up to 5 stacks. So Darth Revan had his cooldowns increased. He only used his basic there. We're going to get the Armor Shred. There's no point using Control the Situation because as long as the Sith enemy is debuffed, they cannot have their TM manipulated. So fracturing Revan is the most important thing that you can possibly do here. He just deals so much damage, so much control. You want to keep him dead as long as possible. I'm going to place the weapons tech over here on Maul, but probably better to put the tank tech on someone like Thrawn just to try to keep them alive that little bit longer. Gideon is also decreasing the damage that the enemy does, which is quite nice. You can try and kill Darth Revan with Seething Rage, but I honestly don't think it's going to work because he just constantly equalizes with the healthier Sith. So maybe instead just have a think about, shall we just kill the enemy units now? Drop in a bunch of Seething Rages on Basti, getting rid of her because I don't like her very much. Next up, no point using Control the Situation. Let's just basic away. Now, you are very likely to lose Wat Tambor because of that death mark. Gideon is actually making use of the modifier here and is reviving himself, which is quite nice. Alright, so we're looking around the board. We can see there's quite a lot of dots out and the enemy is on relatively low health. I'm going to swap turn meter with the highest turn metered ally. In this case, it was Lord Vader. Just looking for the enemy to actually kill themselves with their dots, if at all possible. There we go. We had HK die of sadness, just Sith Marauder left alive now, and Talon and Darth Revan himself. Marauder nearly kills himself. Darth Revan does kill himself, thanks to all those dots that we got across the board. Super handy. I use Control the Situation there, and I really shouldn't because it wasn't really giving us any benefit. 14 dots on Darth Talon right now, and she's the last one standing. Again, we did lose Wat Tambor, but hey, this still gives you a victory with no leaders, if you need it. That's it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I hope this video was rather useful to you. If it was, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so that we can get this channel growing larger and larger day by day. Marvelous. Peace out, ladies and gentlemen, and may the Force be with you.